Good morning, traders. I think I'm live. This is Joseph with Smart Money Traders. Today is Friday, February 7th, 2025, and we're having an earlier stream because we have in about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes actually, because right now it's 8:21. As you can see here on the screen, it's 8:21. February 7th, like I said, and we're going to have Non-Farm Payroll coming up soon. In about 9 minutes, we're going to have the numbers out and see what numbers come out. So we'll see how the market react to it, and we'll go from there. So today is Friday, which is right here. So we got a slew of news coming out. See the countdown here, about less than 8 minutes. So we're gonna be looking at it together and see how it goes. So with that said, we will be looking to see what the market is doing. We just know this market is at a resistance level, and this is the NQ. We're looking at the bottom right. So bottom right, we have the NQ here, which is at a resistance level. So, seeing this market coming down maybe to 751 may not be a surprise, and they may test those levels today. Depends how the numbers come out. We may see a move higher. If everything is indicating what the number may be, we don't know. But we did know yesterday that the unemployment claims went up a little bit. So non-farm payroll may be a negative number. If it's a negative number, things are setting up as if it's going to be a negative number. What I've learned over the years is usually when the numbers are coming out a certain way, the market's already setting up that way. Here we're looking at the resistance in the NQ. Same thing in the ES. We're probably at a resistance zone, so we're going to flip to the ES in a second here. Let me see. Exactly. Same thing with the ES. We're in the fair value gap. That's a 30-minute fair value gap that was created. Let me move this bigger. That's a fair value gap that was created actually a while ago. Let's see. Yeah, 31st, which was last Friday, actually. Yeah, that was created last Friday. With that sell-off toward the end of the day. So that could be something here for us to pay attention to. And this market's been hitting that zone for the last couple of days without any success. They trying to hit it yesterday, early in the morning, then in the afternoon. Toward the close, they did hit it. It came down. Last night they hit it, came down, and this morning between 7 and 7:30, so these are 30-minute bars. We're gonna see how the market react to this non-farm payroll. So again, this zone here, this a little bigger to include this wick. So we got some zones here they may want to test today based on how the number comes out. And also with trading the news, which I don't really trade the news itself. I just wait for the market to settle and take a position. But today, I'll probably wait for the market to open. I just wanted to have this stream starting early, get some commentary, look at the market live, and see how things settle between now and 9:30. So at 9:35, which is the earliest I will take a position, I'll look at the market and see what they say. So if you have any comments, questions, please let me know in the comments section. So I don't know if you plan to trade on farm payroll, or if you just observing like myself, because again I'm just observing what's happening here. I think there's value to see how the market reacts in real time. Because a lot of time when you look at what the market does, in hindsight, I mean, it's clear what happened, but as you're watching it live, I think it's a little different. So right now, things are setting up to go short, but it's the news. So we're gonna see some back and forth, and people positioning themselves one way or the other. So that would be something to keep in mind. One other instrument that I like to look at non-farm payroll days is gold. So we're looking at gold here. Gold is kind of no man's land. We're not really near anything. Gold in all-time highs. So there's not much to do here. So they may come back and retest the zone at 72 and go higher. If you're a gold trader, please let me know what you trade in the comments, and we can, whatever you want me to look at, we can look at it together here. Definitely gold is one of those instruments that's going to react to the non-farm payroll. Another instrument that will react is bonds. I used to trade the 30-year bonds years ago. Not so much anymore. But here we see bonds, we had a support zone. We had a fair value gap here. We may get a break higher. They've been trying to break this area for a while now, They've been trying to break this for a while. So looking at here, this could be a possibility for them to break it or go back down here. I think bonds is a possibility to go to the upside, especially if the market's going to be selling off. Bonds might be jumping higher. Other things that we could look at, CL, definitely that will react. CL's been in a downtrend for the last few days here. That was Thursday. I wonder what this was. It was Tuesday. Because normally on Wednesday we got crude oil inventory, so that's when we have big moves like this. But this was Tuesday on crude oil. I wonder what happened there. Some news could have been the tariffs talk probably affected that. CL, same thing. We had a support zone here. We might see a jump higher. Definitely. I mean, right now, if I were to draw a zone here at the bottom, this is where we are. Will it break the zone or will it go higher to this one? It's another zone right there. It's a possibility. Down to the downside, I don't see any zones right now. So let me see. There's a chat here. 3 minutes. Oh, happy Friday. Yeah, thank you, Jimmy. Happy Friday to you as well. Last night, yes. Yeah, we were looking at the market last night. Yeah, we're like at 16,100. So that's a big number. Okay, I think the number came out. So we're moving higher. So it must be a positive number. Or there's a positive reaction to it. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, it's down. Non-farm payroll change is down. Yeah. So this market selling off is definitely... See, it went wide back to that zone again. Got some people long here. They got some people long, and now they're moving lower. Now, let's see how it reacts to this zone that I drawn. This is a manually drawn zone. These zones are, I could have manually drawn them too, but I have an indicator called fair value gap that gives you that on different time frames that you want. So it's hitting the zone here, like you see, and it's bouncing. So let's see what happened here. Hourly rates is better. Average hourly rates earnings month over month is better. Unemployment rate is lower, but this is a mix. This is a mixed set of numbers. So we could definitely see that this back and forth will happen maybe between now until the market open. So that could be 61.14.5 and 60.87 3/4. These are the boundaries of the market right now. We'll see how they react to this here. I remember coming in, I said, hey, this market, we had a resistance zone. So this sell-off is definitely not something I'm surprised. It's not surprising at all. I'm doing this stream again to just watch to see how this market react. We're still 2 minutes in. So 2 minutes in on the release of the number. So I'm going to move this out the way. I don't need this anymore. It's mixed. Yeah. Looks like we're breaking lower here. We're below VWAP. I have live data here. So pretty fast data. When the VPS works, it does work pretty well. You definitely get some pretty fast execution on the VPS. Let me know what you guys are doing as far as trading plan for the day. How you guys trying to buy, sell, which instrument you guys trade. Looks like again when this hit, we're right here. I said, hey, we at this resistance zone. Going down is a real possibility. Typically, they use those numbers to really move the market one way or the other. Now we see the NQ here in the middle, but bottom middle is going higher. Yes, look like you're going to follow suit as well. I'm looking at the NQ and yes, there's no agreement on the different ranges here. Got the gray background now. NQ is showing that he wants to go higher, but it's ranging right now for the last minute. So a breakout to the upside here, but we got a pivot here at 51 on the NQ to keep in mind here. Oh, we're going lower. We're gonna see this back and forth, I think, between now and the open, even after the open. This is understandable. This is not surprising at all. Yeah, definitely seems some. Let's look at the order flow together. Hit the VWAP, came back down. Some sellers probably got trapped down here. See those aggressive sellers got a reverse on them. Now we're going back to the VWAP. This market, again, like I said, typically they're designed to inflict pain. This is a zone that I have drawn way before the news. See, this is all the news right here. So right now we're going down again. We're below VWAP. We should favor shorts, and also because the market being mixed. Mixed news is really bad news. So we got lower unemployment numbers, higher hourly earnings, and lower unemployment rate. Cumulative delta for the day is only 1,300. So just looking at this right now, if I were to take a position, the short might be the way to go, below VWAP. And we're seeing this market definitely has a lot of uncertainty in it. The tariff stock have kind of slowed down a little bit, but they're still looming, Hey, back and forth is to be expected. 6,100 is always going to be an important number here. And that's kind of my line in the sand for the day. So below that again, I would favor short. They're back and forth here. It's on the chat. Oh yeah, 6,100 must be a big option expiration strike, because option strike for expiration today, because you're gonna see that a lot today. That's gonna be attracting a lot of activity, because if you stay around 6,100 by the end of the day, everybody loses. If you have a short or put, no push. What happened? Some news came to the market. Again, we hit that zone and coming back down. So yeah, I was saying that if you have put or call at 6,100 has a strike expiring today, you'll definitely have if they close the market around that number today, which I don't think will happen, but let's say they were to do that, that's a lot of that's a lot of people that's going to be losing money. The dealers will definitely be happy to peg the market right at 6,100 if they can. So it's 8:40. It's been 10 minutes since the news came out. We're seeing a push higher. Top right chart is the 3-minute chart. That gives me, it's almost like an entry chart. That gives me, again, we really still at that. We're breaking this resistance zone. So let's see how it goes here. Above VWAP. Next resistance is 61. It's 10.5. We should see some kind of reaction there, possibly. But when we're trading a market like today, which is the news just came out, we're still feeling the effects of the news, technicals and this and that. They don't really apply much. So that's why I don't trade the news. I look at it, see how the market react to it, and see how it goes. So I'm sure some people got trapped up there. They might want to get rescued here. 61, 14.25, I think. Is that the high? 14.50. Let me see. 14.75 was the high. So if we go back to 8 o'clock, some sellers got trapped right here. So some buyers got trapped right here. Some aggressive buying happened up here also at 7 seconds later. Yeah. The buyer's definitely in control at the moment. Once we close above this pivot here, that was it. Yeah, we're looking long. Long is definitely what it looks like this market wants to go. But again, this could be a retest of those highs created by Non-Farm NFP. Cautious here to go long or short, because you definitely may get run over up there too. Friend Jimmy says, I'm going to be hip and in pockets. Definitely going to be hip until after this market opens and even see what the open does and give it the time that it needs to settle. And trading is not about to be first. It's about to, be right. Being right is more important than being first. And also, it's not about being right also. Just, you're going to be that's baked into the equation. You're gonna have some losses. You're gonna have some losses, and losses are just natural part of doing business. It's like business expenses. So this back and forth we're seeing here is just typical. Up there, we had some buyers getting trapped up there. So buying a high like this close to the high of the day, which is 1475 at 12. You know, it's a risky business right there. Also, I did mention 1050 was a resistance, which is right around here. So get to that blue line. Gonna hit it once, test it again. Now they going lower. They may go for it again and break it. Probability here is 6100. They may go trying to visit that again. If you just joined the stream, let me know what you're trading today. Have you traded yet, or are you waiting like myself? Just hanging out here. This market does before it opens about 45 minutes. We got another 45 minutes before the regular market hours. So the Geiger counter, which is the top metal, it's an indicator that gives you an idea. The pressure between the buyers and sellers, kind of gauge it and see. Like right now, it's kind of neutral, going to the positive. I think we're 100%, but right now, if you're selling, you definitely want to be careful because the buyers seems to be coming in. You know, they're trying to push this market higher here. I mean, it'll work. It looks like somebody had a comment in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Terry, for interacting. Thank you. Yeah, no trade for me either. I'm just watching this market. I figured that I would start the stream early today because watching the market reaction live and looking at it an hour later is two different things. So I wanted to watch the market reaction live here, see how it goes. Honestly, right now we're looking at this market went back and test that resistance line zone around 1050. Now we're going lower. So. And the selling pressure is coming on. As you can see, the Geiger counter is all red. That's something that we got to keep in mind. We're approaching VWAP. That's another place they can bounce it. And 6100 is a very, very important number. Definitely can see a bounce right here. It might be a short-lived bounce. That's why you don't. This is support at the moment. So you don't sell into support and you don't buy into resistance. You know. You just gotta do it. You know, if I were to be taking a position right in this area, I'd be buying because the support. But again, this is non-farm payroll. Those things are typically out of the window. But yeah, you can see them sellers pushing this down here. At least attacking this swing at 96.75. Okay, let me see if I can. So when you look at this, the numbers that come out here, the previous number was 256, and now we're only basically almost a little bit more than half of that number. Tariffs and everything else. Today could be one of those days. Could be a bearish day, but it's very early. Very, very early. And if we look at the week, for the ES, I'm going to squeeze that in so we can see the whole week here. So it's today, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. We've been really going higher. So another way to look at this is people may say, you know what, going into this weekend, I'm not sure about what's going to happen over the weekend, what kind of talk that's going to be happening. So, and also when you look at this trend line here, on the 30 minutes, you know, that's a trend line that so far has been, when that got formed on Monday, that got respected on Wednesday, and yesterday that got respected as well. So if we can get a close, a solid 30-minute close on below this candle, below this trend line, that could be another bearish sign. And there's major support down here too, at between 60-70 and 60-60, you know, even 60-55. So we gotta wait and see how this develops. I'd say definitely below 85 here. We should looking for something to go towards 70, 72. But right now we're lacking that. You know, if you're a pattern trader, I mean the patterns have some merit to them. I'm not distinct patterns at all. But this really could look like a rising wedge, which is a bearish sign. That's like a rising wedge before the market fall down. So we'll definitely keep that in mind. It's a lot of resistance overhead. Even if you were to break the high, there's another resistance zone right here. I don't know if they have enough strength to move that. We'll definitely wait and see. That's a mode that we're in right now. It's like a wait and see mode. Talking about that. Let me look at the NQ. What I'm thinking about here. I don't trade the NQ most of the time, but I do sometimes. I'm looking at copper NQ. Probably same thing here. This kind of break already, but let's just do the point. Yeah, almost same scenario. I mean, those two work. They move pretty much in lockstep. So that's one of the reasons I look at them both, because the NQ sometimes would move ahead of the ES. The ES is more like a slower beast, but this one just flies up and down. Once again, we had resistance, so shorts could definitely be something we'll look at. Anybody in the chat, let me know what you usually trade. I know my friend Jimmy trade typically ES primarily. What do you guys usually trade? NQ, ES, gold. I was talking about gold earlier. Gold being, yeah, that's what they're doing with gold right now. 30-minute day. It's kind of right in the middle. It's gonna where that candle open, we're almost at that open, but gold looks like it wants to go lower here. Sure, last night I traded gold a little bit, actually right around here. I short gold about 90.8 right this area, and I had 3 targets. 2 of them got hit, and my second target my third target before it got hit, I was trailing my stop. I got taken out for 5 points, which I'm not complaining. Looks like gold is going lower here. ZB. This is what they do. It got you long, then now they're pushing it lower. 30-year bonds. Again, if you're at the beginning here, I'm like, if the market goes down, we're going to probably see a move up to ZB. The move up happened, but you have to be really fast to take your profit, because here we're looking at 26 ticks, which is almost a handle, really. ZB is 32 ticks per handle. So you really could have. Some people did make some money here. And one thing that I like with ZB, it's a very thick market, meaning you're going to have a lot of contracts on each level. Right now, you're going to see a lot of contracts on each level here on ZB. It's very thick. So slippage can be minimal, not that. In a news like this, I would never advise you to trade it, but I'm just saying in general, you're going to get filled quickly, and it's a slow-moving market. If you like slow-moving market, ZB might be one for you, or the grains, or cattle. I'm exploring some cattle trading. Let's look at Ellie. I'm talking about that. I mean, they're not open yet, because they open at 9:30, sorry. They open at 9:30. As you can see, it's a very methodical market. It's been going down the last few days. But we got support. Can we bounce from here? We don't know. But that was a big 30-minute candle yesterday at the open. They opened at 9:30 Eastern. So anybody, any comments, let me know. We're going to go back to the 6 window. Put it back on ES. ES looks like he wants to move higher here. And also, I think yesterday was Amazon earnings, I believe. And I don't think the numbers were good. Look at some Magnificent 7. How they doing in the pre-market here? Once again here, ES is having a hard time breaking this. We may not see something happening until the market opens while waiting. Yeah, pre-market, Amazon is up a little bit. Yesterday, after the news came out, it looks like earnings was positive, but for whatever reason, people cashed in. Amazon's been going higher too before earnings, so that's another. I'll put on the 30-minute chart. Amazon is up a little bit. Pre-market here going a little higher, but overall it's down from the time earnings came out. Caterpillar, let's look at Meta. Meta had earnings recently, I believe last week. The earnings looks like they were good, yeah. Earnings were good, and at that time it was trading around below 700, now it's above 700. I think that's a stock that probably primed for a split. I'm not sure when they're going to do that, but Microsoft, I think from earnings, they've been trading down from the time they have earnings. So now it looks like they're trying to go higher. Tesla, another very, very volatile stock, definitely influenced the QQQs, which is basically the NASDAQ ETF. Kind of mixed pre-market. So the beige background is pre-market, the blue one is post-market. Right now we're looking at really like that mixed sentiment that we see in the SPY. If we go in the SPY here, which is the S&P 500 SPY ETF, same thing. So right now we're seeing a little bit of pressure coming into the market. So let's see how it goes here. They went back to that 110 area. Now they're selling off again. Let me see if there's any questions or comments in here. No, there's no questions or comments. Just let me know how things are going for you out there. Have you taken a trade yet? Are you just watching like I'm doing? Yes, market just doesn't look like it wants to go anywhere at the moment. Kind of ranging. If you look at the top left, we got those two bars, the blue and the red bar. Those here, this market's ranging here, it's ranging up here. Will it break 1475? We don't know. But we got definitely a couple pivots to go in here. Now we're above VWAP. Well, Tom, you could definitely favor some longs here. And we got some buying pressure coming in the Geiger counter. So it's all green at the moment. So we may see an attempt to go higher here. Going higher here definitely could be one of those possibilities. All right. I think what I may do is I can probably play a little bit of background music. Would you guys like that? Yeah, we're seeing some selling right now at that zone again. A lot of things happening there. I think that same zone from yesterday, that's where I had, this is where I had a screenshot of a couple trades that I took yesterday. To that same area that they're in right now. This is it right here. That's that same zone. Short here, target, short and target. So I think that's the same area they keep playing around. As you can see here. That's from yesterday. And this is when they had the big dump. This zone, they hit this zone here and bounce higher. So definitely it is something that we can all agree that we're having.
You know just how time-consuming it can be searching for
interest.
Thousands of music tracks that are perfectly categorized to make it easier to find.
I need this. Let's just stop the music because this one is that's commercial. Some of them don't, but it's okay. Anyway, any questions, comments? Please let me know what you're looking at. And I think it's 9:10. Analysis here for today is really we gotta be cautious here. It looks like we're setting up to go short. But at the same time, anything can happen on a day like Non-Farm Payroll. Any day we're in the market, anything can happen. So looking at this here, we may see a break to the upside. Because that was a really strong rejection of this level. I approached 90, between 88 and 90 here got rejected pretty forcefully. So when you get rejected forcefully like this, they may come back and revisit this level, but because we're having that rising wedge for the whole week, the dump off here can definitely happen today. As for ES, same thing for NQ, kind of same pattern here. Rising wedge. End of the week, market's been going higher since that gap down on Sunday night. Look how our market stayed. If basically the market opened on Sunday, you say to yourself, hey, you know what? I have, I can keep position overnight and stuff. Once you got that sliver pot, when you broke the open, you're long, 5-year stop would have to be somewhere down here, which is a big stop. But if you're trading, for example, 2 micros, that's $1,000. You know, but right now we're looking at, we move about, how many ticks? 2,700 ticks so far. You know, so which is about close to 700. 700 points from that entry, 100 points. And if you go back to the low, that's over 900 points on the NQ. The NQ can definitely be wild. So we definitely had some movement this week. Let's look and see what ES has moved so far. 700 ticks, which is over 150 points for the week on the ES. All right, that's it. I think I'm gonna step away from the screen for 9:13. I'll probably get some more tea and step away for a second here. I'll be back not at 11:10, but let's say about 10 minutes, 9:25. So right now we're not trying to trade. This market looks like he definitely wants to go higher, but doesn't mean much. All right, see you guys in about 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Wow, it is 9:25. I didn't even have my phone with me to look at the time. I came right back on time here. Looks like market hasn't done much since I left. Ranging here. All we're seeing is some ranging going on. Thanks to go higher here. Coming back to VWAP would be a good entry long, but if he breaks it, I think we may go lower. Again, 60.90 is the primary resistance for the day. Primary support for the day. 10.5 is the primary resistance. If we break 60.90, you should go lower to 60.80 and so on and so forth. 10 points apart. So hey, squeeze it that way so we can see what's happening here. Any questions? Or let me see. There's any questions in the chat? No comments, no questions. Because everybody's watching the markets like I'm doing, just observing and see what's happening, which is not much in reality when you look at it. This market is not doing too much here. So that's understandable. We got 3 minutes to the open. So people are waiting to see how this market is going to react from there. Less than 2 minutes or this market opens. So again, they are tempting to pushing it higher here. They are. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. We're at 12. A little bit of absorption going up there. And also we at the standard deviation level. A deviation level for from the VWAP, you know. But definitely we got some aggressive buying happening at the moment. From the previous bar at least, and see. Okay, few seconds before the open here, 30 seconds. I guess is here we may see them taking out the high, which is for 14.75, and if they bring it down, that wouldn't surprise me because I'm sure a lot of people here have the orders to go long up there. Some people have stops up there, some people have, you know, all kind of possibilities here. So there you go. Market's open, 9:30 Eastern. So let's see. So the market internals right now, they're all green, but only seconds into the market. We're going to let it settle until we're ready to take a position. As you can see, this level here, 11.25 is taking there's a lot of trades happening at that level. That could be a sign of absorption here. They're absorbing the buyers, so that means we go lower. So early. There you go. I think the sellers here got run over here. Let's see. Are they still here? Definitely NQ's flying higher. Yes, probably should follow, but we're still below that high of the day. So it looks like they're attacking it at the moment. NQ is going sideways. Yeah, we took that high out. 934. Definitely seeing a little selling here happening in the ES. Okay, remember 10.5 was resistance. It may serve as support at the moment. I may try to, may have missed my long here. I'd like to see a little pullback here to go long. Can we get that double pullback? Let's find out. We'll pull back like this. Yeah, like right around 11.25 was a place to go long here, but we may get another pullback. All right, we're gonna see if we can get higher here. Okay, order got canceled because we have a negative bar. At the moment, I'm trying to go long because right now we right at the top of this resistance, and the ES 1350 could be a place to go long here. And the next resistance for this here could be we past 2075 is the next resistance. We may get to the next one here at 30. So if this market decide to go higher here, I'd like to see it break this pivot and come back to it and give us an entry, but we may not get that, because if it breaks up here, we may see a violent move to the upside. We'll have to find out here. Now here's the break. Again, ideally here, we'd like to see a couple negative bars and then go higher, but we may not get that. We may see, because right now we're pretty strong. Okay, you can see our setup right here happening, that up there, in case we decide to run higher here. Normally, I would like to see like a deeper pullback. Seeing this market the way it's trying to move right now, we may not get that, or we may get one more negative bar, and then it will make sure higher here. So if we got cancel here, I'm gonna put another buy order here. 1850 is my entry, and Q is ranging, even pointing down, so that's not gonna help the ES here, but okay, we got fill at 1850. Honestly, we may want all the way to 27. I'm going to put that in there. This be the time that I should have waited for a deeper pullback. So, but we'll find out. Everything is showing a higher here as far as the market internals, order flow. Yeah, we're seeing a push higher here. Let's see if it's going to happen or not. If I'm looking at the SPY, SPY pushing higher. Let's look on the 5 minute. 2075 definitely could be resistance right here. Hopefully we get to at least to our first target here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this up to 15, 50. Yeah, here's that push higher here. So if we can at least get to our first target. First target got hit. So right now we have a trailer, only trailing for about 10 ticks, so we may get taken out, but we may not. Depends on how things progress here, because once we break this resistance, we may shoot for the higher one at 30.75. Let me know how you guys are doing out there. Are you trading? Have you taken any trade yet? We've been here since a little after 8. We watch Non-Farm Payroll coming out together, and so far this market looks like the numbers were mixed, and the market kind of they're not they're happy to push it higher, it looks like. Yeah, if they're doing that, we're gonna go with them. Good, market internals are all green, but we may get taken out in this little pullback, which if that does happen, we would try to wait to go back in, but looks like we're pushing higher here. Yeah, we are pushing higher. We're trailing. We may get taken out here and this pullback. Again, if we get taken out, we may look for another long. If this setup presents itself where we got taken out. Again, this could be one of those, hey, get out of my way. You're a week long. And we'll break this range and go higher. Find out soon. I don't think 10 o'clock we have any news. I got to double check. So we got fill right here. So again, I'd probably move my stop a little tighter to 1850. Because if we break this range, maybe this candle here could be, let's put at 18. Let's put at 18. Okay. So let's see what. I don't think we have any news at 10 today, but I may be wrong. Yeah, we do have a little bit of news. It's not red, it's orange, so it has potential to move the market a little bit. About 10 o'clock, we got some news, so by that time, I think we have a good chance of hitting that first target and start trailing our stop. To come back here and take us at 18, that'll be hit before the news. The break 18.5. Will be taken out so far. Again, well, it doesn't look good here, and Q is long going lower. I was hoping that those buyers could push this market higher, but it doesn't look like they are. They're taken out. Okay, that's what they're doing. Tag us out and go higher. Okay, I think right now we might be in a down rotation here because we kind of on the expensive side here for this market. Let's see. Yeah, we had the VWAP is and all that. VWAP is at 07 with the global thing. When I'm scrolling on one chart, mess up the other one. Just want to do local here. There you go. Well, that's the news, 10 o'clock news. So it's lower than expected, much lower. Consumer sentiment. We definitely see the effect of the news. In hindsight, really taking that order long before the news was kind of close to it. So I can understand why this position didn't work out so well. The market kind of bouncing higher here. Off, then make it to the zone again, but got close to it, below VWAP. So we're gonna let the market do his thing. So we're below that 6100. It looks like we're trying to head lower here. This is from my VPS. Everywhere the data is flowing very well for ES, but MNQ has a little bit of lag. Everything else is flowing. A regular computer, however, we have a 3-minute lag on ES, 1.5 minute on NQ, so can't touch that. ES here looks like it's setting up short. I mean, again, we're too close to this low. We're too close to that zone here to go short. But if we get a pullback to VWAP, which is at 08, that'd be ideal here for us to try to go short. Still dealing with the lag on my regular computer, but here we market on NQ is definitely going crazy here. Wonder what happened to my Geiger counter. I gotta reload this. Yeah, we're below that 85 number that I mentioned earlier, which is going lower here. Definitely want to be careful in this band. Close some of my charts on. Yeah, this is why you don't go out. You don't go short right here. Go short in here. That's a problem. Big. Yeah, for us to go short here on ES, would like to see a pullback to 07. I know we may not get it, but that's where we would like to see the pullback happening. This market is very volatile right now, so we're gonna stand. We're gonna sit on our hands for now. Or even that has some lag as well. All right, looks like we're reversing to the upside here. Or at least we're getting the pullback we wanted to 07. But here, I can't trade this here on ES. I mean, anyway, I'm not trying to take a position at the moment, but even if I wanted to, I can't trade it from my regular computer. 4 minutes behind. So what I might have to do is reload my data. So let's watch and see what they do at the round number if they get there. If they get to the round number here, that could be, another push down here. We got a nice push down here. The zone again. It's like we want to go lower here. Again, trading it here, it's right into that zone. And that zone eventually, if they're gonna bring it lower, it's gonna break. But yeah, it hasn't breaking yet. Yeah, they broke. All right, we're gonna. So, okay, got a chat, got a comment here. Yeah, I agree with you, Rod. Right now, we're definitely bearish. We're looking for a pullback to 07, but we got it to 97. So anything going back to 90 here, we can see another sell-off because 90 definitely was support. Then it's becoming resistance, as we know. Past support become a future resistance. Today being Friday, it's a day that definitely got to be more careful than any regular day. All right, thank you for coming and be here with us. We definitely appreciate it. So let me know what you trade typically, if it's ES or NQ or any other instrument. Here we primarily display ES because an NQ down here. Okay, looks like well, we have a pivot here at 94.25 to be aware of. Well, thank you, Noah. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, that pivot at 94.25 looks like it got hit, and now they're trying to push it up. See this back and forth at that level here. Got a range developing here, so yeah, this is definitely somewhere short here. Might be. Oh, I think I missed it here. I missed the short. Yeah, we need a pullback here to go short. Entry was about 91, 92. We're down about 5 points already. Okay, maybe a new bar to the downside here. We might go short. Let's see. If we get a positive bar, the order will cancel. So ranging here. Still ranging, nothing major happening here. So we're still kind of favoring the short because this market kind of plunged down here, but we can see them attacking this level. Maybe not. Let's see. Can we go below this range? Oh, there you go. Go below the range and our stop will be right here. We got first target about to get hit. Is it? Okay, first target got hit here. And we're having some back and forth, and before we're gonna start trailing. Since I have a trailing stop, and the low of the day is 79. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 78 and 3/4. In a quarter, it looks like. So we might get taken out here, break even, but if not, we're gonna be okay. We got taken out, break even here. Okay, it's 10:33. So let me see where we are in regards to the initial balance. Initial balance is the period between 9:30 and 10:30. As we can, initial balance low is the low of the day. I mean the low of the low of the day for now, and the high is at 61.24. So looking at this here, typically at 10:30 we might see a little fade of the initial balance going toward the middle, which is 61.01, which is a very convenient number for them to try to get to, and then turn it around to the downside from there. But we may see a sell-off continuing here too. So that's another scenario we can see here. But we're definitely at a low. Trying to sell it here, it will be difficult. I think they want to probably bring it back to 6100. Bring it back to 6100 probably make more sense here. Yeah, seeing a push up here, it's not usual. We might, even though we're gonna consider this a pullback to the upside, pullback so we can go lower, but we may want to take advantage of this a little bit. Just scalping here. Pivot is kind of close though. If it wasn't for this pivot here, probably go long. Pivot here is showing like, it may crack there. Now we break the pivot on the bar up here. We might want to try long. Try this again. Okay, we got long here. Emergency stops about 5 points. So, but if we start breaking down here, we may want to just trade. If we make a no low here, we probably can just reduce this by 2 points. Maybe won't give him a chance to do that. Let's leave a emergency stop in play. Oh my goodness, this market doesn't want to know what he wants to do today. And maybe he does. Maybe I'm the one that doesn't know how to trade it. But let's see. Yeah, we're gonna survive this pivot here. It's 10:39. We're not in for about 2.5 hours. Almost 2.5 hours, because we got started about 8:15. It's very volatile right now too. So looks like we're going lower here. Definitely want to be careful here, because that band, they keep trapping people when you go short here. They keep bouncing right here. So, well, this market looks like it wants to go higher now from this base. So let's see if we can break past 1690. Something happened in the market here that pushed it way down. It got pushed way down. So there must be some kind of news. Oh, it's a tariff talk again. Okay, that's what it is. All right. That makes sense, because this market was well on its way higher. And then we get this move right here. See, I mean, this is why when we got news in play, technicals don't matter. The technicals don't matter. So we got some tariff talks. That's what's happening here. So for the next, hour or so, this market, you can't touch it. You can't touch this market here. Yeah, this market at the moment, to me, is untradeable. So for that reason, I'm going to be stepping away for a minute and let this probably 10:05. I'll be back at 10:05. This market right now is not tradable. So I got to take a breather. Yeah, as you said, Ward, he got to that level. Again, the news definitely push it right down there. But I'm taking a little break here for this market. This market is not conducive to good trading. It's 11 o'clock, sorry. I should say 11. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let me just adjust this. And this morning, coming in this market, we did say, hey, this looks like a rising wedge. Looks like they're trying to dump it from here, and that's what they're doing. We did say that. So this is not hindsight. This market, you got to trade with foresight. Everything happened on the right edge. We can go back in the middle of this, move this back. We can go back in the middle of the screen and say, hey, the chart, and say, this is what happened and why. But until you can see what may happen in the future, we're not predicting the future. We're just reacting to it. Whatever happened, we have different scenarios in play. if they come in play, we'll. So let me just step away for a few minutes here. I'll be back. Yeah, the market was in the bear zone. Yeah, that was definitely a sell zone right here. All right, I'll really be back this time. Okay, I'm back. I guess probably gold jumped up here. Let's see what happened to gold. Gold was up since this morning anyway, but ZB did. Big stop went up there. When the news came out 8:30, market is very untradeable at the moment. Current data, good. The data is kind of line. MNQ is way behind though. Not sure what's going on with MNQ there. My NQ is good. Let's switch this to NQ. So we can have current. Yeah, looks like we're seeing a push higher here. Looks like ES wants to go higher here. What if you're still on the stream? Just let me know where you're watching from and what kind of markets do you trade usually. Well, you can't even trade that with it. Okay. Yeah, at the moment, I'm just gonna watch this and see. This market is kind of too volatile for me. Well, I've been on for more than 2.5 hours here, so I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Definitely would need this market to see this market settle more before we can engage on it again. So I'm gonna end the stream and wait for better opportunities here. So with that said, good luck, take care, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Hope you had some good trades in today. Me, I went, I think 2 for 2. I mean 2 and 2. Sorry, took 4 trades to kind of almost break even for the day. So and on the stream here. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye bye. God bless. Have a good weekend.